What is going on, everybody out there? Lamont on the run. Today we are in Mountain View, California, and what you're looking at right now is I guess you would call that a sound wall or a sound barrier. On the other side of that looks like a 50-foot wall is US Highway 101 southbound. This is where it merges to Highway 85. So I was here doing a story because about 1,650 feet that away over that wall, back in 2018, March 23rd, 2018, 38-year-old Walter Huang, who was a software engineer for Apple, was driving his 2017 Model X Tesla on autopilot when the car steered itself into a concrete barrier, thus taking his life. He died in the crash almost instantly. Pretty bad crash, as you can see the pictures that I'm showing you right now. That's going to be a crash that you are not going to survive. It was estimated that he was doing about 70 miles an hour at the time. Now, normally when I do these types of stories, I rather put them on Lamont at Large. Except, I don't know why, but as my drone was flying right where those seagulls are flying, I entered an area where my drone was off limits. If you guys don't know about drones, if you have a newer drone with GPS in it, there are certain places you can't fly. For instance, you can't fly over some prisons. I've flown over a few prisons. I've gotten in trouble at one prison. I'll talk about it in a future video. And so airports, certain parts of cities, they'll be like what they call a geofence. Basically, your drone can no longer proceed, like an invisible barrier. So the first time I flew my drone, I actually found the exact location where his car crashed. Now, I wasn't recording at the time. I'm just kind of I'm recording and talking at the same time, but sometimes if I record and do a video and it doesn't come out, instead of me editing out the parts I don't like, I'm just going to scrap the whole video and I'll just start all over again. So I found the area where his car crashed, and I'm on my drone, I'm like hovering right over it. And I got down really low to the crash location, and you can see the attenuator that they had to rebuild after his car crashed. There's a certain section of the US Highway 101 and the 85 where people merge, where people have crashed into this certain barrier. There's been, at the time of his accident, there was 6 previous car accidents at that very, very same location where one of the people died back in 2015. So I'm just going to briefly tell you the story of what happened and what this guy was doing. So basically, to wrap up this story, this guy, March 23rd, 2018, he's driving his Tesla and it's on autopilot. The car crashes into the concrete barrier. He dies instantaneously. His family sues Tesla along with the California DOT for wrongful death, right? So he leaves behind, he had like 2 or 3 kids. Sounds like a good guy, good father, making sure that his kids are well taken care of and all that stuff. So according to the documents for the lawsuit, basically the lawyer in legalese that I'm gonna simplify for you guys, basically they say that the Tesla autopilot system was defective and caused Huang's death. The navigation system of Huang's Tesla misread the lane lines on the road, and it failed to detect the roadway and failed to brake the car. And instead of braking the car, what it should have done, instead of crashing, it should have, braked on its own. It accelerated the car into the unprotected edge of the concrete median. Now, at that time he crashed, the reason why he died was because someone 11 days previous just happened to crash into the same barrier. So they messed up the attenuator. Now, when you crash into one of those attenuators, you're supposed to fix it so in case somebody else crashes. Now, they didn't get a chance to fix it. So if that person 11 days before Walter had crashed into that barrier, if they would have never crashed, he would have lived. It's just a weird story, a weird death. So the family, of course, they sued Tesla. They sued California DOT. And well, later on, after the NTSB did its investigation, it determined that, because they got his phone, and that Walter was playing a game on his phone. I think it was called Three Kingdoms. I don't know if that's a good game or not. I'll definitely check it out. By the way, if anybody wants to play games, want to join my Clash of Clans, it's called Coming Up Roses, right? So join my clan because we need some active players. A little bit of shameless self-promotion right there. So the NTSB, they got his phone, and then they noticed throughout his commutes earlier in the week, this guy is playing the game as he's driving to work. And according to the logs on the Tesla side in their software, 6 seconds before the crash, his hands were not on the wheel. So the autopilot's on, his hands are off the wheel, right? And on top of that, what the hell is that? Is that a robot? What are they doing? Is that a security bot? Oh man, I'm almost done with the story, but I've seen these robots. What the hell? Oh, this is cool. I gotta go in there and talk to these guys. All right, well, anyways. That's interesting. All right, anyways. Oh, that is crazy, so they're following me. Anyways, let's wrap up this story. So Walter's family sues Tesla, and the court denied their lawsuit. They denied their claim. So basically, it showed, like I said, that I got distracted by those robots, so that's pretty cool. I like that. It's scary, but it's cool. So basically, throughout the times of his commute, they would notice that he would log into this game, and he would be playing this game as he's driving. Now, when you're playing a game, all because you're playing a game while you're driving, that doesn't mean you're actively playing a game where you're concentrating in the game. There could be a game where it plays, like you set like directions to the game, and then it proceeds to do whatever you told it to do, and you can just kind of listen to it in the background. So he might have been doing that, but nonetheless, he was still playing a video game as he was driving his car. So, of course, I'm pretty sure they still probably have a lawsuit with California DOT because they didn't fix that attenuator. No, still just a weird death, a weird situation. And, totally feel bad for his kids. I mean, because they don't got a dad anymore. And the wife lost a husband. She said she lost her best friend. And, yeah, it sucks.